All right, welcome to the season 7 premiere of Football Focus Weekly. I'm the pet man, Matt Mara. Apologize for the late start tonight. I was running behind, and backstage we're doing a lot of talking. So I appreciate everybody's patience with us, but we are excited to come back for season 7. Doing this show. I put it out there that we are the best high school football show. Other shows claim to be number one, and a certain somebody from another show sent me a message and said, being second is not that bad. And I told that person that being the best and being number one are two different things. And I've always felt that. Um, and let me go full camera on this. I just want to say this, and I thought about it. There's an analogy that I want to share with you guys that, just think about fast food and you think about McDonald's. McDonald's is everywhere. Okay. They're number one in the world. It is the number one fast food restaurant globally. Okay. Wherever you go, it's easily accessible to find McDonald's. Think about this. The number one show is easily accessible through many mediums. Okay. But would you consider number one being the best? Do you consider McDonald's being the best fast food? I wouldn't. I think it's a bunch of garbage, personally. But the best food is the food that you take time to go find, and it takes a lot of effort to prepare, and it takes a lot of hands, being into the dish, so to speak. And then when you get it and you taste it and you savor it, you say, "Wow, that's why this is the best." So. Number one versus the best, major difference. McDonald's versus your best fast food, major difference. That's all I wanted to say on that. and I'm going to get a message about that, but that's okay. So, anyways, you see on the screen tonight what we're going to talk about. Once I introduce the guys, and we've got a lot of guys here with us on the season premiere. We're going to talk about social media rankings and player promotion. And there is a lot of discussion going on about that. And we'll get into what we're talking about there. Then we'll move on to talk about player transfer culture, because there's a lot of things going on with player transfers. And it seems to be widely accepted now, and we've talked about it a lot on this show through the years. And I think views throughout the years have changed on player transfers. And then our last topic for the panel will be coaches pay, and it's been a hot topic. And the question is, can it really be fixed in North Carolina? I've seen a couple different things thrown out there. Coaches have talked about it. Newspapers have talked about it. So we're going to get into that tonight. And then once we finish our topic discussions, we'll go into our team area previews and county rankings, which is what we always do every year in the preseason. As tradition, we always start to the west, and we'll continue that tradition. Cleveland County and Gaston County will be discussed tonight. We'll talk about all the Cleveland County teams in detail. We'll talk about 4 Gaston County teams in detail, and then we'll talk about players on those teams and throughout the county, and give the panel a chance to weigh in on that. And then we'll, of course, finish with slime time. And if you don't know what slime time is the time where all of us get a chance to call something out or somebody out for, and it can be anything, not just, high school football related. It can be personal life. It could be, sports. It could be, whatever it is, And throughout the years, it has provided a lot of memorable moments from all of us. So that'll be exciting to bring that back in the season 7 premiere. So with that being said, we got 2 comments in the bucket. We got a young man, lineman from Mount Pleasant, Brandon Bevilacqua, joining us. What's up, man? Very talented young man. We'll get to Cabarrus County and Mount Pleasant probably next week in detail on the show. And then our favorite, the chat administrator, is here, and he's still coming on the show while at work. Unbelievable. I'm glad to have, the chat administrator back for season 7, the best dang on chat administrator in the Southeast. baby. Karen Belk, another regular. Good to see you, Karen. And I'm glad you're doing well. I know you had, some stuff going on. And I'm glad you pulled through and you're back supporting them Independence Patriots. Big Eye Shelby is here, Karen, just so you know. So you'll get to see him in just a minute. Talented defensive tackle out of Forest Hills, Kai Finazzi says you should cover Union County. Well, young man, Union County is coming up on the preview. Probably in 2 weeks, we'll get down there and you'll probably be one of those young men we talk about in detail then. So, stay tuned for that. And Cleveland County legend, I've been told, Tyrese Williams says, CFI Smackdown tonight. I think Big Eye Shelby knows you, Tyrese, so I'll let him respond to you on that one when his time comes here shortly. Summer Blevins, another CFI dedicated fan. Good to see you. Welcome again. I see some guys frustrated that they're not getting called out backstage. You guys will get you once you get on camera. Trust me, they don't know you're here. They don't know you're here yet. It's coming. It's coming. Coach Trotter from Pine Lake. Yes, sir. Football's right around the corner. Thank goodness. I'll tell you how bad it's getting. I celebrated the Hornets Summer League Championship like we won the finals. I was up late past midnight screaming at the TV. My wife thinks I'm crazy. We pulled it out, and the first Hornets championship of any kind in history. How pathetic is that? I should slide the Hornets early, but I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, let's get to the guys because we need to let you know who's here, and it's a lot of guys. So first of all, he is the offense coordinator at Walkertown High School, and he's become a internet sensation with all of the things he's been doing in promoting the offensive line play and running the football. That is Coach Ian Tatum, Walkertown High School.
What's going on, Pep? Great to be here. Like my dog, Coach Trotter said, football is back, right? So, get through this dead period, right? And then we'll do a little bit of a mini camp next week, and then getting into Wednesday, first official day, man. We're rocking and rolling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know you guys are looking good up there. You're looking strong. I'm coming off a strong season up there at Walkertown, man. Man, what can we expect from you guys this year?
Man, we're gonna have a good squad. That's no surprise, but we're gonna try to get better every day. And that's coach speak, but every day just trying to get a little bit better. We're gonna be pretty dynamic on offense. We're gonna throw it around, but we're still, hey, as long as I'm there, we're still gonna run the football. So we're gonna
now hold on now. That's coach speak. You throwing the ball around now? Come on now.
Hey, but when you got the guys to do it, you'd be stupid not to do it. So you got to take what the defense gives you. But and then defensively, we're going to be very fast and get some guys on the ground, man, and keep them scoring points. So look out for the Wolfpack this year.
All right, good stuff, man. All right, here's the head coach at Rocky River High School, and he is the engine and now CFI legend, Kenneth McClamrock.
I just want to say first, hey, Pep Man, hey, Coach Tatum, and then a little Bev, good day to you as well, and Karen and Summer, good day to y'all as well. And Coach Trotter, you can text me, but you can't say, hey, what's up, Coach McClamrock, when you get online. And Kyle, sir, good day. And it's excited to be back, man. Got back from Greensboro today. The coach's clinic is done, and so is football, man. I mean, we got 1 week to the day, Pep, and we're excited at Rocky River.
Yes, sir. You guys, and I forgot, Coach Tatum, you guys got a media day, and then Kenneth, you guys got a media day coming up July 29th, right?
Yeah, so the Southwestern 4A media day is going to be next Tuesday, the 29th. We're going to host it at Rocky River, and we're really excited to celebrate not just some really good football coaches and football teams, but some really, really excellent players that we have in our league.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Before we go to the next introduction, I gotta say, Coach Griner, make sure you watch the beginning of the show, okay? Make sure you watch the beginning of the show. I appreciate that sentiment, but yeah, just make sure you check that out. All right, next we're gonna bring on the newly promoted co-defensive coordinator for the Independence Patriots and Shelby Golden Lions legend, Big Eye Shelby out of the way.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Got to run into the legendary Kenneth McClellan today at the coach's clinic down in Greensboro.
First time he's talked to me in a year, Pep.
We were just over there 2 weeks ago, man.
That Mint Hill robbery, man. That's serious business now.
We can be friends again now.
Yeah, we can be friends, man. We don't play each other no more, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. How crazy is that? Yeah. Well, we talked about conferences.
Hey, we got all of our conference games. They're an hour away, but the team 5 minutes away.
Yeah. All right. Well, now moving on, we have another CFI legend, Coach Dub, Robert Washington from Knowledge Charter. And you're on mute.
His mic muted, man. Day one, man.
I gave you that introduction, then you just fumbled the ball, man.
Man, struggle bus right now. What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
Unbelievable. How you gonna fumble on the first carry, man?
Man, look, I picked it back up. It wasn't a turnover though. I got back on it.
How's things looking at Mountain Island this year, man?
Man, it looks good, man. It's we're gonna be who we are. We're fast. Our program is built through our track program as far as with our speed. So we're gonna continue that tradition. The biggest thing for us, we didn't touch a football all June. Like you didn't see us in 7-on-7s. Because I just remember at like probably around the third quarter of the Mount Airy game, we was getting, them boys was pounding us a little bit. Pause on that. But my kids got me doing it. My kids always say, see, Philip said the same thing.
Man.
Anywho, so
okay.
At that point I said we're gonna work in the weight room and we're gonna work on conditioning all June. I mean, I love 7-on-7s just like anybody else, and our kids love it. But championships ain't won through 7-on-7s, right? So when we got back from July, we was able to get out. Had a 7-on-7 right before we went on dad period. So kids look good, man. I'm encouraged. We're young, but we're talented.
Pep, why I didn't get no questions?
Well,
he asked me about how the Patriots gonna be this year. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, man, here we go again, man. I ain't get no questions asked about how the Patriots gonna be. What can we look forward to? All this.
Well, possibly I got direction from somebody to not ask you any questions. So.
Okay.
Go ahead, Adam. How the Patriots look?
We look pretty good right now, man. Pretty good team. Had a good summer. Just been, building it from the ground up. Trying to find more leaders. Look forward to this senior group that we have right now. It's their time to put on, and we just been competing each and every day. Had a great 3-day team camp at the school where we had a lot of team camaraderie, vulnerability, accountability, leadership, fun, and ended with a good cookout and talent show. So all the boys feel like from the start to the end, we became closer and closer together. So I think that helped us go into this dead week, and we're ready to get back to it Monday.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Talent show. It's pretty cool. Any special talents?
We had a lot of good acting going on. A lot of good acting, reenacting funny moments that they may have not been a part of, but they got the witness from other players. So yeah, it was good, man. Just seeing the kids, go through football, then kind of decompress a little bit, laugh and joke, have a little fun, then go back home and try to take it easy on them towards the end.
Oh, good deal. Good stuff. Producer, I don't see your camera on. Are you ready? I guess he ain't ready. All right. We'll go next to the illustrious, and I had to welcome him back for season 7. He's been away for a little while, but he's back on the show. Brandon Billups.
How y'all doing?
Hey, from parts unknown.
Nah, Batesford Road, chilling. I don't coach football like y'all. I'll be chilling. I'm a fan.
So, question is, since you're not coaching now, what are you up to?
I do professionally. I do IT. Just do IT. That's my passion. Anybody who know me, they know I love computers.
Mm-hmm.
And my real job is just being an outstanding father, an outstanding uncle, brother to my siblings. I'm having fun with that. Tell y'all the truth. Everybody think I'll be capping. I'm
Good.
You might hear my nephew and my niece down there screaming, but they all right. But
all right. So you are here to provide, excellent football expertise.
Yeah, I'm non-biased.
Non-biased. Yeah.
I really, y'all might not like me this year because I'm not a jerk no more. I don't do all that play stuff. I'm just a 40-year-old man chilling.
Okay.
I'll just be chilling, living life.
Right.
I let Webb and them have it. I ain't in no football groups. All I do is play video games and be a parent. That's all I do. And turn Kenneth down. Kenneth don't try to make me coach at Rocky River for about 35 times, but I refuse. I don't like coaching football. I leave it to y'all. I'll watch it.
Thank you, Mr. Billups. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sam. Sam, basically what he said is stop taking your little subliminal shots like your little boring show is like this. PB.
You'll see that a lot this year.
Hey, you gave it. Hey, man, it's your fault. You give him a platform. You give him a platform. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh man! All right. There's a lot of comments now. Shaquan, our guy behind the camera, who I've tried to get on the show, he will not come on the show, but I'm glad that he's watching. He does a lot of great stuff. He's been taking a lot of great pictures.
Shout out to Shaquan, man. Shaquan, my boy Shay be everywhere, man. I mean, everywhere. If there's a ball, he got his camera there, man. So shout out to Shaquan, man. He's everywhere, all through Charlotte, riding up and down 85, 485, just doing it for the love of the game, man.
And I'll tell you,
and he has a great turnaround time too. He ain't like these other guys that take 3-4 days. I don't know what else he does or have a part of his life. All I know is if he take you some pictures, 24 hours, they right back to you.
Yeah. I saw you got a lot of shots of you over at Parade.
That's why he's making a comment. That's why he's
hey,
that's the turnaround.
Hey, all I do is, I see my boy, I tell him what's up. He say, I got you. I say, appreciate you. Hey, man.
Hey, Pep, little known fact, Shaquan was a good football player too.
Yes.
He was a real good football player.
Where did he play at?
Was it Myers Park?
West Mac.
That is right, West Mac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a linebacker. So that's good stuff. And I'll tell you, when I talk to Shaquan, he's always asking me about what events going on, and he wants to go to Raleigh for a jamboree. And I asked him, I said, why? I said, Charlotte's got. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, but no, he is very motivated. He does an awesome job. He really does. Chair administrator is calling you out, Big Eye. He says you scheduled the wrong team from Lawrenceville.
Hey man, I have no place of picking games or making the schedule. All I do is show up wherever Friday night where the bus take us.
There it is. Let's see here. Curtis Young is saying, "Don't start hating." What did I do? For not giving you your time? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, man. Hey, I think everybody's ready for the Cleveland County rankings and Gaston County rankings and everything. So I think that's what everybody's in here for, man. We got a lot of viewers right now. So.
We do. We have a lot of viewers. My goodness.
Oh, also, shout out to Miss Karen Belt. Like Pep said earlier, I know you had your surgery. We appreciate you for all of your love and support for the Independence Patriots. And we hope you have a speedy recovery so you can be out there with us when we go down the road to Gaffney.
Yeah, there it is.
If that's too long of a drive, Rocky River's not far.
Yeah. We need a Karen Belt for Rocky River, man. We need somebody over there. Coach Dub, I know you got your team mom over there. You want to shout them out?
We still ain't got our breakfast. I don't know what he talking about.
We did.
Didn't somebody? Hey, don't somebody owe us breakfast for something? I don't want to call names.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Is that a Raptor parent?
No.
No.
We'll talk about that later. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to put you in time like that long.
Hey. Don't bother me. Y'all doing y'all little football talk. Have fun. I'm sitting here. I'm watching The Last Kingdom on Netflix. Y'all, hey, I'm just here. Go ahead.
Pluto Serac says, you know who the best in the county with. Thanks for watching, Pluto. Appreciate it. Wonder who he's talking about there.
Do you know who that is?
I do know who that is.
Oh, okay.
I know who he's talking about too. Pluto, stay tuned. We might talk about you here in a little bit. Talented safety from the Chris Chargers there. All right, let's get to the topics, man. First off, let's talk about the first topic, and that is social media rankings and all of the stuff that comes with it. All right, let me go solo on this because
oh man.
Oh boy.
No, stop it. All right. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm meeting y'all. Yeah, because y'all gonna be a distraction. All right. So there's been a lot of talk about social media rankings, player rankings, team rankings, all this stuff. And usually throughout the years, it comes from stuff that either I generate or other media outlets generate. But this year, there's been a new entity that has come on the scene, has generated a ton of buzz, and that's always good. It's always good to have a lot of talk about high school football, but what I've seen has been very interesting, and a lot of people, and probably a number of you watching this show, have reached out to me about it and asked a lot of questions. And we're talking about a specific outlet. And if you follow, high school football in North Carolina, you probably know the outlet I'm talking about. I'm not going to name names, but 2 + 2 = 4. So put it together. Okay. I had a chance to speak to the person behind this page very recently. And here's some things that I want you guys to understand. First of all, the person behind this outlet is a very, very young man who is very passionate about high school football. All right. Sometimes when you're, very young and you're very passionate, you don't understand the ramifications that come with doing the things that you do. And in this case, it's basically flooding the market with a lot of different, types of media, basically in the graphic form of ranking of different numbers of kids and, calling out kids that are expected to do well. And while your heart, might be in the right place, the execution may not be the smoothest. And then because of that, you get a lot of feedback. And then being very young, you don't always know how to handle that feedback the right way. Several people have asked me to call this media outlet out and basically put them on blast. And, what I tell people was, I'm not going to do that, because I can see the passion that this person has for high school football. And then when I had the chance to talk to him, I was very direct about the things that I observed, and then the things that, going forward would be kind of best practices to kind of, handle things a lot better than what I've seen. And the young man, to his credit, was very receptive and really appreciated the feedback that I provided him. Now, in saying that, I also provided the young man a chance to come on camera, introduce himself to the world, and kind of explain, his purpose for doing what he's doing. But that hasn't had a chance to occur just yet. I'm hoping at some point that will happen. But for now, that has not happened. I think that will definitely help. And I think once people understand who's kind of behind the curtain, then it will explain a lot of the things that you're seeing. So I'll go on to say that if there is an issue or a problem, the young man is receptive to receiving feedback, and just be cognizant of that. Okay. That being said, I'll bring some guys left. I'll bring some guys back here and allow them a chance to kind of talk about. And the producers here. I'm sorry. Producer Brandon Black, welcome to the show.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
I saw you earlier. I didn't know.
Week one, I had to, it's the first week, man. The laptop had a little update, little technical difficulties. We good, man. Like Washington State, I jumped back on the ball, no turnover. We still got possession. That's all that matters, man. We second down. We good, man. We got it fixed up.
Good deal. So, guys, the first question is, I know you guys know what I'm talking about in particular. Does these rankings and stuff, do they bother you? Do they have an effect on your players? What do you guys think about all of these, social media type rankings and such?
I'll say so. It's funny. Me and my homeboys literally had an argument about this this week, right? Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I would say to the young man that Pep's talking to, I'm behind what you're doing, but just understand that when you have certain entities that actually take their time and study and put all the information out there, and you want to use their information, asking to collaborate will take you a long way. And I can just leave it at that. But personally, I mean, when you look at a lot of these pages, first of all, I wouldn't really care about a rank because everybody makes their own rankings, right? Like CFI has rankings, Solid Observer has rankings, Max Preps, 20. Everybody has rankings, right? So as a coach, I will only care about rankings if I actually cared about rankings, right? So, I'm not going to allow an Instagram page or a Twitter page that somebody just made up because they love the game to rank me, and I say, oh my God, they ranked me 10. Who really cares? Because at the end of the day, the pads still got to come on, and your kids still got to play, and your coaches got to coach, right? I just think that we're just in the social media era, so every time a kid sees something or a parent sees something or some coaches see something, they think they oh my God, we're ranked 10, so let me say something. When the ranking could be at your mama house on the couch, 24/7 sports. Who cares about who cares? You know what I'm saying? It's not even when ESPN made the rankings and they was okay, these are the top 100 teams or this whatever the case may be. You think the coach cares if he's number 1 or number 100? They're gonna say thank you. Let's move on. Pads got to come on. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a social media era type thing where they allow all these different pages and people to start ranking people, and it gets them all in it get everybody upset. And I don't understand why. Is it get upset? Honestly,
Well, here's a top player, that is ranked in just about everything I've seen, and he's saying it. Rankings don't mean nothing.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm sure we all been on teams or coach teams. I'm sure Kenneth is coach where they be like, oh, this team may finish last, and they mess around and win the whole thing, or a team that they say gonna win it don't play well, right? Or a team that's middle of the pack go up or down. Rankings don't matter. Okay, cool, it's a preseason ranking. Because my thing with these preseason rankings is that nobody does their research. Just because you was number 1 last year, how you know they didn't play 22 seniors?
And that's a good point. And fully transparent. That's one of the things I said to the young man, about some of the things that are being posted.
But
and he knows. He knows.
Just don't be completely transparent. I agree with Coach Weber is saying, but I would tell you this, like, I think he's one of the few people who actually is being honest, say he don't care about the rankings. And he's saying that what coach does, a lot of people do care about this because that's why you get content. That's why you get all these statements. He said one thing that I really do agree with. You live in a content-driven era now. You get what I'm saying?
That's
so
true.
People are going to go and say stuff to drive engagements. So y'all all coach a sport that y'all want people to be engaged with and stuff like this. So when you see up and coming pages, especially about the youth, I already knew when I saw that page, I already knew it was a kid. I wouldn't have been on this earth for as long as I've been. I didn't know that was a kid. So I was not hating. Me and Pep was laughing about it. I said, wow. But I think the coaching world, y'all gave that page the fuel that needs to make him blow up like that. Because everybody don't say, well, no coach is on there responding. You go on that page right now, you say, hey, my kids deserve to be this, my kids deserve to be that, because it's the new age. And this ain't no knock on a coach. It ain't knock on anybody in here. But a lot of people feel like they got to do that to keep their kids because they feel like they got to promote. This is what the parents want to see them promote their kids. So it's funny hearing that because a lot of people comments on Twitter, Facebooks, on these Instagram posters are high school coaches commenting about why this kid, why not my player? So I don't fault the kid. I always tell them I fault the adults because y'all giving the power. You can opinion-based rank has been going on since the dawn of time, since we started. We even before social media, we used to get mad when we were coming up. We didn't have Twitter and stuff when I was there. We see the Charlotte Observer.
Now Billups, let me tell you this. I never got upset because Harden was never ranked.
Well, I'm not doing that this year. I'm not doing that. You went to your school, I went to my school. We know what happened. You know what happened. I don't do that. I'm just being the voice of the people, like I said. But I'm just saying that I think people, you got to understand. That's why I don't coach no more, because it's two sides to everything.
Hold on. I just noticed that your tagline is voice of the people.
Yeah, voice of the people. But let me finish. I'm just trying to be honest with you. Like, I really do think that in this new era of coaching, right? And I commend, especially Kendall. I commend Kendall because he older than me. I couldn't do it no more. I can't do it no more.
Now people catching strays.
No, I'm not straight. That's not straight.
Hey, hold on, Billups. Now, Kendall, I'm gonna give you a chance to respond to that. Now, go ahead.
How old do you think I am, Billups?
You ain't that much older than me. I know that. Duh. That was not an insult. You know I love you. Take the camera off, man. Let me finish talking. They always try to.
No, we got to share the microphone, man. Kendall, you got anything on this?
They always try.
I'm gonna let the people go. People continue.
All right. People, you got anything else?
No, I'm gonna say is that is what we live in society now. It's all about the conversations. People are not going to say the truth just to get a reaction. So that's why I'm saying it's not me trying to be negative towards anybody. It just, you have to deal with these parents. 98%, nobody will be honest right now. 98% of the conversation is why my baby's not ranked. They'll go to that high school coach. If that high school coach ain't saying nothing, then that's the next topic we about to take up. That's why I'm saying. So you got grown men out who ready to be spending time with their family. Got to be on Instagram like, Lord, geez, I don't want to send it, but you got to. That's part of the coaching thing now. You can sit here and say whatever you want to, but you have seen more coaches that you know personally that act out of character online because they feel like they have to do that so they won't be the next stray to what we don't talk about next. But that's all. Just me being
Coach
honest.
Doug, what you got on this?
Man, his camera froze. Now, Kendall, he older than both of us. Look, your name, Coach
Doug. You got something
Jesus.
on this?
I thought you said Coach Billups. You just
no. He's had his time.
Yeah, he went on that psychedelic rant. Jesus. All right, so my thing first, the first thing is to the young man. I think the biggest thing, somebody need to mute. Who ain't on mute?
All right, I got it. Go ahead.
That's better. So the first thing to the young man, I mean, I think everyone's behind you. The big thing when you're trying to do rankings, you're never going to please everybody. I mean, if you set up a rankings, no one's going to be pleased. Think about any voting or any rankings. It could be the NBA, it could be the NFL, it could be the WNBA. It doesn't matter. People are going to have a problem because they're going to feel like they've been like left off a list or anything. But I think what we should get back to is kids proving their worth on the field. I mean, we see it all the time at these all-star games. I mean, firsthand at Queen City Bowl. None of them rankings go out the window when you at the Queen City Bowl. And you can start seeing
amen to that.
You can start seeing those kids that was highly ranked, and then you got some kids that wasn't nobody talking about, and they in practice eating their lunch. And at the end of the day, man, it's about what you bring to your football team. I think the problem I have as a coach, we're not highlighting whole teams. It's more individual based. You know what I'm saying? We're focused too much on the individual play and not on the team play. Because guess what? If you're a good cornerback, guess what? You might have a good D-line. You might be a good corner because that quarterback don't got time to get that ball off. And when he do, he lobbing it up there and you catching a pick six and is going to the house. Or you might have good DBs if you're on the D-line where, quarterback ain't nothing there. You might get to the quarterback. So I want us to get back to more of the team focus. We got to get back on the team focus because now, and I know you're going to talk a little bit about this later, Pep, that's what's leading to all these transfers is everything being individualized.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got feedback. Okay, there we go. We got a lot of comments. Anyone else want to weigh in on this social media rankings topic here?
I would say too, my question would be, as a coach, all I want to know is this. If you got beef with this football page or whatever case may be, are you calling ESPN asking why your kids ain't ranked? Are you asking 24/7 Sports, are your kids, why they not ranked? Are you asking On3? Or you just want to do on social media, on Instagram, so everybody can see? Because all I'm going to say is this. If I'm upset that my kid is not ranked on a Instagram page that a kid made that probably lives down the street, I would be more, if I really felt like my kid was that nice, I don't think I would care about what an Instagram. I would want to go and try to get him ESPN ranked, get him 24/7 ranked, get him On3 ranked, because that's the stuff the college coach is going to look at anyway. So, I don't know.
And I'm glad you ended on that, because that's the one thing I do really want to stress is, this young man's doing it as a passion. He's not connected to college coaches or anything like that. So I'm not saying it's not credible, but take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying?
Can I weigh in?
Yeah,
real quick?
sure.
From what I can tell, from what I can see, been around this quite a while now. I've yet to hear a player or the parent of a player say, "Man, I got an offer. I'm committed, but if I had just been 2 spots higher in Pet Man's presets and records, I'd have got another offer." I've yet to hear that. I think it's the rankings are fun. I think kids use it as motivation, put fuel on the fire. But I think it's twofold. If kids show up and produce on the field, that's part of it. And if kids and parents do their due diligence, like we talk about all the time, getting your name out there, come to camp, reach out to coaches. If they're proactive and they can play, people will know. You're gonna be found. So if a kid does their part and they're gonna be found, they're gonna get the offers. There's gonna come. If they can play, it'll be. And it does never come down to rankings. No one's ever missed out on a full offer because they weren't ranked or was ranked too low. I've yet to see it. I'll never say never, but I ain't seen it yet. So if you can play, people are gonna know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brandon,
good, Coach.
you touched on that was perfect, man. Yeah, my first year at Rocky River, it was a learning experience for a lot of us. We had 9 seniors who just graduated 2025. 8 of those seniors had an opportunity to play college football. 5 of them have signed. 3 of them are going to school for free, and a 6th is walking on at a big time university. 8 out of 9 guys had opportunities to play at the next level, and not one time did a college coach ask me, "Hey, coach, what rankings is this kid a part of?" It's never been asked in the history. They've never asked me what the stats were, how many yards the kid rushed for, how many tackles he had, how many interceptions he had. What they want to see is what that kid puts on film. And you know what? If somebody wants to create a page and they want to do the research and they want to retweet and reshare and do all of this dirty work, man, more power to them. Personally, I've never looked at the page. I've never seen the page. When my kids share it, I just click next because it's not something I'm interested in. Preseason rankings are about worth as much as, well, I won't say it, but they're not worth anything for that matter. And what the kid puts on tape is what matters. And parents and kids would be wise to realize that, and coaches would be wise to educate their players on that fact.
Well said.
Hey, Pat, real quick.
Okay.
No, it's like y'all were saying, but like
go ahead,
a lot of times it's conversation, for kids. And like Bills was saying, like he sees coaches, and that's 100% true. I see coaches that are on there all the time, but it's really the kids showing it to each other in the school building, right? Hey, look what they did. Look what they posted about you, or they posted about that guy across the street. Like it's the kids, and they just want to feel important. And then at the end of the day, it's parents, and I'm sure we'll talk about parents 1,000 times on this show. But it's parents being like, my son was on this. Where was yours? Or how that kid got this, but my kid ain't that. And it's just everybody wants to feel important. Everybody just wants to feel like they're quote unquote validated. And like Steve Spurrier said, man, this is talking season. And next week we put on the pads, man, and we're gonna see what's going on.
Yeah, that's another good point. And I love that the fact that you mentioned parents, because some parents understand it, and then some parents are after that validation and recognition. And I can tell you, I have DMs from both coaches and parents about rankings. And you guys know throughout the years I've been called out by both. And I think there were some very good points shared there by all of you guys. Kim Cotton, the parent of another very talented young man, very well said. Big Eye rankings are opinions, and we all know the saying on opinions.
Yeah, because I know Miss Kim, her son KD, right? Mm-hmm. He's a hell of a ball player.
Future West Shard legend.
West Shard legend. And he's committed to Duke, right? Mm-hmm. Congratulations to him, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Like, I remember her very well vouching for him 2 years ago about how good her son was. And nobody was really talking about him unless you was local. And now he's committed to Duke, and now everybody want to put him on stuff. Like, as a parent, she was just like, I'm telling you personally how good my son is. They never cared about
in that recruiting circuit, they were talking about. That's what they don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the people who knew about KD was the people who was offering him scholarship money. Like, and that's the only people that matters when it comes to this ranking stuff.
Yep.
But I can firmly remember
the West Side we knew about.
Yeah, I can firmly remember her vouching for her son every week, talking about my son do this, my son good, he good. And from dealing with the kids at Independence and like the high schools and like the college coaches in the Division I schools, right? I never had a coach come in there and said, "Hey, coach, where's Nick Regis ranked among safeties in Charlotte? Hey, coach, where's Dallas Brandon ranked among linebackers in the nation?" Only thing them coaches come in there and ask about is GPA, character, home life. They know what the film like. They wouldn't be there if they didn't watch your film.
Right.
They want to know. They want to know character, GPA, and home life. That's all they want to know.
PBS
Good stuff.
That's all they want to know.
And let's be honest, most of the local rankings is more about conversation. The rankings that matter is your rivals, your 24/7 rankings, because those are the rankings. And I know college coaches will tell you that rankings don't matter, but for them, it do matter in this regard. If they bring in 4 5 stars, they're gonna say something about bringing in 4 or 5 stars. That might keep them job security, or they might rank. Okay, we brought in so many 4 stars or 3 stars. Now, obviously, when they get on the college campus, those rankings are going to go out the window. But these local rankings, ain't nobody checking for those. But also, last thing I want to say to the parents, just be careful how you conduct yourself on social media. Because at the end of the day, the college coaches are looking, because guess what's going to happen? If you're complaining about rankings, you're going to complain about playing time in college. So remember, they're not just recruiting your kid, they're also recruiting you.
And be careful what you say on the visit. I got a fun story. I ain't gonna say it about my boy.
We got plenty of topics.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I tell you already know, but I tell you, it's the punter who used to punt at Providence. Me, you don't talk about before Eddie.
Okay. All right. Coach Creed from Bessemer City says it's important to our players that we dedicate a segment to this topic at the same time as a valuable lesson for our kids about what's been taken away from them. Remember, not everyone gets a trophy. Success comes from hard work and dedication. Let's inspire them to put in the effort and work for those rankings. And yeah, that's very well said, because one of the things, and I'll just say this: Prep Reds on North Carolina, and I'm talking about the class of 2029. We don't rank 2029 until they've got on the field and done something. But there are a lot of people out here that are ranking 2029 kids and calling them number one in the state. And it's the most insane thing to me, because these guys have not even got on a high school football field yet.
I seen 2031 rankings.
The conversation starters. That's all they want.
What in the world?
It's just conversation starters. Once you start understanding content, you should not be bothered by none of this. That's all it is.
That's true too. That's very true too. Let's see. There was another comment. Oh, Coach Griner weighing in. Here we go. Says, pretty simple college recruiting goes by this mindset in order. Number one, eye test measurables, 2 film, 3 GPA, and then it goes on and on. But that kind of mimics what you were saying there, Big Eye, in terms of what colleges are coming in and asking about with players. So
ain't no lie.
I appreciate Coach Griner, the star of another show, contributing so much to us. That's really appreciated.
They don't allow him to do that on PBS, so I'm glad he's doing it too. Great job. Love you, Sam.
All right, moving on to our next topic. Very
love Sam. Sam, my guy.
Player transfer culture. We have seen I have to call it a record number of player transfers this offseason, and it's still happening, by the way. And it's now generally become an accepted practice for players to move from one school to another. And 2 questions. 1, why has that happened? And 2, are you guys in favor of this current player transfer culture we have right now?
I'll go last. Let everybody else go.
I think it's happening because I think that a lot of kids, one thing that I learned about coaching kids and just being around people is that kids talk. So it's one of if a kid is at a certain school and they get certain opportunities, and kids want to play with their friends, and kids just want to win. Let's just call a spade a spade. Kids want to win. Kids want opportunity to start. Kids want the opportunity to be in front of crowds and be around other great players and get exposure. I think that it's unfortunate for some people when they lose kids that are major parts of their programs, because sometimes people transfer after they just upset about one simple thing, they just leave and people don't know how to communicate. I think some kids, when they transfer, they do it the right way. They walk in the coach's office, shake his hand, say, "Coach, I appreciate you, but this just not working out for me and my family anymore. We're gonna make a decision to leave." Right? I think it's the way that some kids do it and why they do it. Because sometimes some transfer choices don't make sense. And to each his own, but I just think that it does need to have some type of, I guess, structure or maybe rule. But I mean, you can't stop kids and parents from moving if that's what they want to do. But I think that in a city like Charlotte, I just think there's just so many different places to go play and different opportunities. And kids want to be around exposure, and kids want to be around what they think is championship culture or championship pedigree programs, and be around coaches and get exposure.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. The big thing with player transfers, man, and here's what I don't understand, and this kind of ties in with social media. We got so many players now making graphics and announcements that they're transferring from one school to another. And how do y'all feel about that?
I mean, I think
Just say it.
It's being
I think
kids.
it's like kids being
content.
kids, man.
It's
content. It's kids being kids. It's content, man. I mean,
y'all don't get tired of me saying that. That's all it is. It's content.
That's all it is.
It's a me. Look at me. It's like y'all saying, like, it's no offense to if that's allowed in their household, that's cool. You know, I can't tell. I'm a parent, like a lot of people here. I don't tell people how to parent their kids. I parent my children the way I choose. I don't think if that's how you choose to parent, cool. I just know my two children, we ain't doing that. You know, you don't go fight because that's how life is. But it's like Big Shelby said, Big Eye Shelby, whatever call himself now. But I think most of these folks do your research before if you're going to transfer. Be an adult. You and your father or your mom go in there and have a conversation. Let that coach know these kids. And I tell you this to all my best friend, the head coach at Cox Mill, and my boy Kenneth, Rob, and all that. I would tell everybody this. And I told Joe Evans this about 2 weeks ago. Them kids, they play for you, but they're your responsibility while they're under your tree. But they don't have no ties to you, brother. Like their last name not Evans, Holmes or Washington like that. Don't be so caught up in it. You know, just coach what you got. It's hard out there, but you coach what you got. You know, you got to. I think parents, y'all are putting y'all children in some tough situations because you demanded at school A and then you go to school B to go fight to get on the field and get more exposure, but you ain't getting no exposure because you just running down the field on special teams. That's not helping that young man out. And sometimes you need to really have some conversation with your kids because there have been some kids that I know, they really don't love the game. They're just playing because their parents want them out there. And they don't want to make nobody disappointed. So have a conversation. Everybody say we have these open relationships and conversations with their kids. Robert Washington, outstanding dad. Like him and how he did his kids playing sports, wonderful. And I'm not saying that just because I just know Rob. I've been around. I seen when his son got hurt, how fast he made his son work for everything he had to do. So that's a good leadership. Look at what Ken was doing with his kids. I love it. You know what I'm saying? You can't give these kids.
So here's the question though. As coaches on this show, how do you guys help prevent all of the
let me say
go ahead, Coach Doug. You first, and I'll come to you, Big Eye.
I don't think kids are in love with the game anymore. They don't love football. It's very rarely like you can really sit down with a kid and talk football with them. Now it's all about what it looks like. You know, what swag you got on. The pregame warm-ups, all the jumping around, hooping and hollering. A lot of these kids, I'm not saying all of them because you got some dogs out here that absolutely love the game. But for the most part, a lot of these kids, they're not in love with the sport of football. That's why you see a lot of kids that can't battle through injuries. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they should battle through injuries like we used to, but at the same time, a lot of these kids aren't in love with it. And they're losing the love more than likely a lot of times because of parents and sometimes coaches. So I think the adults, let me just say adults are taking that love away from kids. So now they're in it for themselves. They can be seen. It's social media. They can go out there and put out a graphic. Hey, I'm transferring the school A to school B. And it is hyped up. But also I want to touch up on the transfer. Some of the transfers that we're talking about make sense sometimes. And I will always tell parents, I'm a parent myself, always do what's best for your family, what you feel like was best for your family. But some of these decisions are ridiculous. It's crazy. You have kids transferring to schools they have no shot at playing in or playing for. And the reality is, if we're talking about the transfer, but if you're a transfer we're not talking about, think about all the ones that we're not talking about. Because, I mean, they were second string on this team and they think they can go to this team and be a starter. I always say, man, be where your feet are at. Water your own grass.
I think this topic is really starting to get to some people. I see some comments here that are. Go ahead, Big.
I think too, like, bro, transfer has been going on for years, like forever. Like, bro, like only thing that changed now is social media, and the kids are saying, "Hey, I'm going here. Hey, I'm leaving here to go here. Hey, I'm reclassing to go here. Hey, I'm reclassing up to get up out of here." Like, transfer has been going on forever. Like, nobody now is the first person to do it. They have a 365 rule for a reason. Like, it didn't come out last week. You know what I mean? And I think that as a coach, you can't prevent kids from transferring. I mean, I know coaches who have tried to talk bad on kids when they want to leave, and I've seen coaches just open the door. Okay, you don't want to be here, cool. The door is open. I love you. See you. Thank you. Right? I just think that as a coach, like I said, like it's unfortunate sometimes when you lose key players, but I don't think you can stop it. Like you can't stop it, honestly. Because if a kid want to leave, they want to leave, or if a parent's unhappy, they're gonna leave. And like, I mean, I think it just is what it is, man. I mean, like I've been in programs where we never got transfers. I've been in programs where we had kids leave. So I mean, it's just like it's what it is, man. It's unfortunate for a lot of people because a lot of good coaches have kids leave, and there's nothing they can do about it. And I think that makes it hard because they're in the right place as far as development and leadership and fundamentals, but they want to leave and just try to go somewhere else because it's easier there than where they got it.
Yeah, Pep, I've said on the show now for 7 seasons, I've always been a fan of school choice. I've always believed that children and parents should be able to make the decision that's best for their family. That said, you asked what can you do to keep kids here? From the outside, before I got to Rocky River, I saw how crazy it was in Charlotte. Now I'm in it. We know it's the Wild Wild West, but this is what we do at Rocky River High School. Number one, if a kid is in our program, he is going to be loved unconditionally. He's going to be pushed to his limit. He's going to become a better person, a better man, a better player, a better student, a better football player. We talked about this. If you want to play college football and you're in our program, I can promise you, if you have the grades and if you have the character, you will have the opportunity to play college football. I've never had a student athlete who wanted to play at the next level who did not have that opportunity to do so. And, we're fortunate at Rocky River. We've been able to put together what I believe is the best, one of the best coaching staffs, and not just all of Charlotte, but all of the state of North Carolina. And our kids are going to be pushed like they've never been pushed. And we're going to continue to grow this thing. If a kid decides that's not what's best for them, and we've had some kids decide that's not what's best for them and their families, and they leave, man, come and talk to me. I'm going to give you a high five, a hug, and wish you good luck and farewell. And that's just the day it is, man. I'm going to coach up our guys who are there every single day. On Monday, when we return from this dead period, we see who else, who we have left, and if we have anybody new that shows up, and we're going to go to bat with those guys, man. But, the days of getting stressed out about kids coming and going, man, that's 2020. We can't do that anymore. Not if you live in Charlotte, not if you're playing in the leagues that we play in on this show. It's a part of life, and it is what it is, man. Wish those kids luck. A lot of kids, after they leave, call me back up. Their parents call me back up and say, "Coach, we shouldn't have left." And you're right, you shouldn't have. But what Coach Delp was saying, they were being fed stories that they believed, and that's the choice that their parents get to decide.
The comments are very strong right now. It is very, very interesting over there. We have over 600 people watching right now. So here's what I want. If you are watching this show and you are a parent, or if you are a player that is transferred, tell us why. Why did you transfer?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, share it.
Hey, Pep, I can give you a story too. Just what Rob and Kenneth was talking about. So in high school, right? My dad, I was going to Shelby High. My dad was teaching at Burns. It's a true story. My dad was teaching at Burns. At the time, Burns had Matt Beam, who was the offensive coordinator for East Lincoln when they won the state championship not too long ago. He's still there now. Matt Beam will tell you, it's no lie. I begged my dad to take me to Burns. because at the time Burns was popular. Like Matt Beam had the swag. He was beating up on everybody. Like all my homeboys was getting strong and physical. I'm like, I'm trying to go play with my boys. Like my dad played here, my mom was here. I'm like, cool, I want to go to Burns. Matt Beam gave me a pair of cleats. I went over there and see him with my dad, and where he gave me a pair of cleats. Like he had the swag and everything. You know what prevented me from going to Burns?
What's that?
My mom said, you will be a fool if you take your tail over there. That was it. My mom told me, she said, son, you're not going to Burns. You're going to go to Shelby, and you're going to graduate from Shelby. Because I'm not going, because my sister at the time was cheerleading. She said, I'm not picking and choosing where I'm going on a Friday night. Like I'm going to watch Shelby football. And I think that's what parents have to do. I think parents got to be more involved. Like, I just no lie. Like, it's no kid in the independence program that can't walk in the coach's office and say, hey, coach, where do I stand? Let me know where I stand and where can I get better at? I think like some situations where like if like some transfers make sense. If I'm the 5th running back and I'm a junior or a senior, hey coach Weber, look, I appreciate y'all doing what I'm doing. I haven't played in 4 or 5 years. Hey, I want to go to another school and see if I can start. Like that's okay. Like those like that makes sense. But I'm not gonna be a starter like a quarterback or something and say, hey, I'm about to leave. Dog, you the man. You know how hard it is just to like transfer in certain positions and have to relearn all this stuff and depend on when you transfer, like you don't get much time. And that's why I say some transfers don't make sense, but some of them do. Like, hey, coach, look, man, I got to move. This happened at home. I got to move. Boom. I got to transfer. Because it's just like college where if I leave Kenneth's program, wherever I go, they're going to call, hey, Kenneth, how was Adam Webb as a student? How was he as a player? I don't know if we need him, but you know, I appreciate the insight. And so now the coach knows what he's getting. Like nobody leaves without somebody telling them about the kid they're about to get or the kid they just lost. So if I was terrible, so if I cussed out my head coaches in practice, I was always late, I was failing classes, all that transfers with you. It's more than just the talent that these coaches are inheriting. That's why I tell kids all the time, if you're gonna leave, the best thing to do is come tell the coach, like, coach, I want to leave. Now I might can help you. And say, look, well, don't go there because you ain't gonna play there. Okay, let's look at this school, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, it's all about communication. That's all. We lack communication in this.
Well, Webb, if y'all got any 6'5", 275-pound offensive tackles floating around over there that's looking to leave, man, tell them you know a place down the street that we got a good offensive line coach.
Hey man.
Oh man.
Hey man, if we had one of them just sitting around not doing nothing, I'll tell you one thing.
I got to start charging y'all marketing fees, boy. Good gracious.
We'd take a 6'3".
Any tackles.
Pep. One thing I will say is I think kids like fake love, and I'll just put it like that. Not every kid, but a lot of kids do. They like to feel like somebody is wanting them, right? And that's kind of your job. Like, hey man, give them a place to want to feel like wanted. Because I think I have a theory. That's why so many kids are transferring to college, right? Because they miss that being recruited feeling, right? The posting the graphics and posting the top 5 and all this stuff. That's what they do. They do it all over again. And so like kids, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean that's who kids are. But you know, like you said, transferring has been happening forever now. It's just highlighted with social media. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, the best 11 are going to start. I don't care. Like, you can't tell me that you're transferring because you didn't get an opportunity because you were that guy. Well, best 11 play. Like, that's just the bottom line.
Well said. Now let's go to the comments because there's a lot to unpack over here. So, first of all, thank you, Coach Griner. I'm glad we're helping your negotiations for your other situation.
Contract yet?
We ain't got no openings.
And that sounds like
all right. There you go. Let's see here. Miss Isaiah checking in from Big Eye.
Shout out to Miss Isaiah. Yeah. Josh Isaiah.
Yeah,
Big Josh.
Doing good at A&T. They did not transfer. So there you go. Turn things around.
Man, it's one of those things you never gonna find like you never gonna get everyone to agree on this. I think transfers that make sense, like Will was talking about, if you deep on the depth chart and you know you're probably not gonna see the field a lot, If a team is, like you said, running back deep, another team needs backs, that makes sense. I think people don't have a problem with logical transfers. They have a problem with poaching. Poaching is different. Poaching between transfers and poaching are two different things in a way. You know,
how much time do we have to talk about that?
Well, okay, can I just talk about it for 1 second, Pat?
Sure.
Because, you know, we just had our rules clinic up there in Greensboro today, and this was one of the slides talking about undue influence. We've talked about that on the show before, and these are some examples of undue influence that would be illegal per the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Communicating to a student or a member of the student's family, either implicitly or explicitly, blah, 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 that your school is better than another school. Or my favorite one is visiting or entertaining a student or a member of their family. Or my next favorite one is initiating or arranging communication or contact in any form, including letters, emails, phone calls, with the student or a member of the family. I don't think any coaches are sending out letters anymore, but there's some initiation from coaches to student athletes and or their families that take place a whole lot that leads to a bunch of these stat transfers.
Who is enforcing those rules?
But I'm gonna tell you, that was a great point, and maybe that needs to be separated, because when people comment,
it will be.
They think we're talking about transfers. Like, if you're transferring and you're doing, no one could tell a parent what to do with their kids. You do what's best for your kid, and that's it. But then it's the other side of the pooching part, and we know it goes on. It goes on. We know it goes on.
But see, and here's the thing, and I don't want to get into, because I know we're going to be here forever. But that's the thing. No one is enforcing this stuff. Nobody.
Yeah.
And we all know that sitting on this show. And I'm sure some of you guys watching know that. And we know that's why it's happening.
Pep, let me tell you something before we transfer. I literally had a coach recruit my nephew, send him a message, right? And I looked at it and I laughed. I didn't report him or do any of that stuff, because I thought it was funny. But that's how bold some people are. You know, this day and age we live in.
So continuing with the comments, our friend Coach Simmons at Palisades. Mind-numbing convo. Kids have been transferring since forever. Social media just highlights it more.
Yeah, it's just out in the open more now. It's just out in the open now.
And I mean, I'll tell you, in Harding, you know, we had a really good kid that didn't show up. You know, back then, you kind of had it separate, where you were off for the summer for the most part, and then you came back August 1st. He didn't show up August 1st. He didn't show up August 2nd. August 3rd, we found out he was at West Charlotte with Tommy Nuts. So yeah, it has been happening. It has, but I think the rate of transfers has increased, because back then you would lose maybe one or two guys. You know, now you're losing 4 and 5. There's some programs that lost 6 or 7 guys. You know, and you know that's hard. That's hard to recover from, for any program. Coach Cunningham over at Harding says, if a kid decides to leave, you show them the same love you did while they were with you in your program. At the end of the day, the goal is for them to be successful in life, not just in football. And I think you guys, you know, said that sentiment very well there. Jared Gatewood, when staff's poached, that's when I take issue with it. You know, kind of enhances what we just said there. Kevin Smith says the ugly part of transfer is always those adults that mislead parents or kids who don't know any better. Parents have to learn to keep their circle small and stop seeking validation from people with ulterior motives who are telling the parents what they want to hear. Wow.
You know, Pep, I've called those people piranhas on this show a few times. Piranhas who prey on vulnerable parents.
Yeah, we know that definitely happens out here. Kenneth, here's a shout out for you from Real DJ Magic. It says, Coach McClamick, I can co-sign him. He's coaching the heck out of my son. last year and this year. Congrats on that monster playoff type squad you got going over there. Okay.
We need to put that on a graphic, Pep. Can CFL post that? But you got like 30,000 followers, man. That's like that.
All right. You want the playoff pressure on you?
I mean, that's why we play the game, right?
Okay. You put it out there. I'll tag you in it. Laramie Watson, he's the parent of a player that has transferred. He says, Pep, some players leave because they can't play, others leave because they can. All right. There you go. No further comment on that. Chris Peavy checking in. He says, I just transferred my son, and it was a very difficult decision, but collectively we thought it was best for him. He missed his sophomore year due to injury and had a great junior year. We decided to reclass him and play at a higher level of football. Okay, good insight right there. And thanks for watching, Mr. Peavy.
Great
and
kid.
your son is talented. Yeah.
Incredible player.
Great kid.
Let's see here. Coach Torrance says, do what's best for your kid. And I want to add on to that. Talk to people you can trust, man. You know, like you said about those Corona type guys, you know, get a second opinion. Just don't listen to one person. You know, try to kind of, you know, get more information out there.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even coaches. It's these Buddy Garrity types out here.
Buddy Garrity.
Hey, man.
Buddy Garrity.
Deep pull right there, boy.
Tatum, in most cases, it's not the coaches. We don't have time to be sitting out here talking to kids. Right. It's these street agents that's promising them this and promising them that. That's what it is, pretty much. Misleading.
All right, well, let's get to our last panel topic here, coaches pay. It's been a hot topic for good reason because, you know, all high school coaches, you know, for the most part in North Carolina are underpaid, man. And we've had, you know, several good, you know, kind of conversations about it. You know, I interviewed, you know, Sam Grant at West Charlotte. He, you know, broke it down really, really well. But the main thing is, how do you fix it? What can we do to fix coaches pay, you know, in this state?
We got to come together. We got to be willing to sacrifice something. I think if we all came together, and I thought what Sam did hit the nail on the head. I don't want to regurgitate everything, but he pretty much hit all the key points. I mean, if we want more, I mean, it's almost like the argument the NBA union has with the NFL union, right? The NBA union, the players are getting more money and they're getting more guaranteed stuff because they're more collective. They come together. They got a voice. And the NFL is more like, man, we'll replace you. Next man up. We can't stick together. There's always different opinions. If we want to get paid, man, we got to come together and we got to have one collective voice. But also I want to mention something is, you know, is a coaching convention this week. And I had an interesting question because I started looking. And I'm not sure if I know the answer to it. Maybe y'all can help me out there. Is what is the North Carolina Coaches Association doing with this? I haven't seen a statement, and I could be wrong. They might have posted something about supporting coaches' pay. I mean, it's in legislation. So I know it was stuff. It was what was it? Stuff released on social media after the NCHSA went through what they went through with the state assembly, saying that, you know, different entities support the NCHSA, and that's rightfully so because we got one of the best state associations. But what is our coaches association doing to support us and support our voice? That's what I want to know, and that's more of a question for everyone on this panel.
I think we have to call a spade, man. I think that it is. I don't think it's necessarily North Carolina. I mean, it might be North Carolina as a whole that you're not getting paid what you feel like you're worth as a coach, which I definitely get that if you're putting in a lot of hours. I think it's just a Charlotte thing. I think we just got to stop beating around the bush and talking about, because a lot of these other counties, they may not be getting paid what you're worth as a high school coach, but they get paid more than probably a majority of every Charlotte high school football coach. I think you have to understand. I think what it is, I think that one side have to stop feeling like they're bigger than what's happening with these athletics, and they had to just come together and say, look, we're both for two great entities. Let's find a way to add more money into these things, right? Or allow these booster clubs or allow coaches to do things however they want to do them with outside funding or whatever the case may be. I think also, too, why it's all about where you live, right? Living in Charlotte is tough. I mean, it is what it is. Living in Charlotte is tough. And, like, if you're a coach who's married with kids, yeah, that stipend's not going to do anything for you. But, like, if you're like me, maybe like a single guy, as far as like, but not married, no kids, right? I mean, my stipend goes to me. So I look at it like, oh, okay, well, I get a good bonus when the check comes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different if you got trying to raise a family and it's like, okay, well, as soon as I get it, it's going right out. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a Charlotte thing. I think one side may just think they're bigger and they're better, and it has to become a common ground.
Good stuff. Couple stuff in the comments here. Coach Griner still with us, sharing state legislature. They're going to hide behind the conference associations. It's all going to have to be conference-based coming together. This is his opinion. If a few conferences come together, the other ones will have to do the same. What do you guys think about that?
I think it might be more. I'm with you on conferences, but in the bigger scheme, it got to be more about the districts.
Okay.
And just your district athletic directors, just like your district areas, like your CMSs, your Gaston counties, Union counties. It got to be more about the district. And in most cases, Griner, the districts is the conference. So, but I think if we do it a district by district, and there's no better district to start than with CMS. I think we all work hard across the state of North Carolina, but in CMS, it's probably one of the most grueling coaching jobs that you can have. Just on the landscape. So I think if we start with CMS, I think we can probably move more if we start with some of the larger schools.
Yeah. With respectfully to Coach Griner, because he gave an incredible interview with you, Pep. He hit on a lot of big points, but I think we're looking at the wrong places. Number one, the state legislature doesn't pay anything towards the coaching stipend, and they never will, for that matter. And when people say we need to go to the school board and we need to talk to them, the school board has no way to raise funds of their own. The school board only has funding from the county commissioners. The only people that can impact or affect the money that coaches make is the board of education or the board of commission, the county commissioners, whether that's the Charlotte-Mecklenburg County Commissioners, the Cabarrus County Commissioners, or the Iredell County Commissioners, the Union County Commissioners. The school board has to ask for every penny that they have. Every dollar they have comes from the county, with, of course, the state paying teachers pay, the base pay. And that's the big knock, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that counties have to pay for. I don't know what the answer is. I know that we're grossly underpaid. I know that we're grossly underpaid versus our neighboring states like South Carolina or Georgia, where a position coach in Georgia or South Carolina can make more than any head football coach in CMS. I mean, that's wild to me. I don't know what the answer is. I know that we need to talk about it. I know that we need to publicize it. The North Carolina General Assembly, the school board is not going to give us any answers.
And Kenny, I want to add to that. I think we could start with increasing teachers' pay or school staff pay, because if we increase school staff pay, because I don't think we're going to get it in stipend. And now
you're talking. Now that is the General Assembly with the additional income that you get from the county commissioners. But no, God, man,
well, because well, if you think about it, just think about any coach that's somewhere near six figures in a public school in North Carolina. Chances are they're probably they got long careers in different areas within that school. Like they might have been teaching for 20 years. They might be a guidance counselor, whatever the case may be. But I'm talking more school staff, period. If you increase those salaries, guess what? We're working in the buildings. And for some of our non-faculty coaches, we could take some of that money and pour back into them. And I mean, no matter if it's raising money through booster clubs, different things like that, because I'm going to tell you who's really cheated in this whole process. It's our non-faculty coaches. Because I got coaches, you got coaches, Kenny. Y'all all been coaches where they get paid nothing.
The true engines of a high school athletic program in any sport. You know, I mean, Pep and I talked about this when I got back into coaching last year. I took a pay cut to come be the head football coach at Rocky River High School. I'll make less in 2025 as the head football coach than what I made in 2024. My taxes will be different because to coach football, I gave up hours at one of my other jobs, and I'm going to lose a significant chunk of money. And CMS pays less than Cabarrus County. Cabarrus County head coaches make more than CMS head coaches.
Wow.
And keeping it real with respect to my Cabarrus County coaches, I was there. CMS deals with a whole lot more headaches than Cabarrus County does. And that's not a knock. That's the grandiose that we deal with on a CMS schedule. But teacher pay, I mean, you know, you look at, golly, man, we could talk about this forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, we could. In the comments, Freddie Bryant, sure. Is he still over there with you, big guy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Running back coach. CMS has to meet with the coach and let us plead our case because as coaches, we do a lot behind the scenes. Coaching North Carolina for 9 years, made $0. $0. Coach in South Carolina, South Point made $15,000. Wow.
I've been known to say things that people don't like to hear, but you know, recently there was a big thing in the last couple of weeks in the news about, you know, federal funding from the federal government being frozen and North Carolina being short, you know, $12 million and all this stuff. And you heard all these talks on social media and teacher pages about, you know, teachers are going to lose their jobs. But what you never hear about people losing their jobs are people at the county level who are making six figures plus, and there are thousands of them deep. You try to get in contact with somebody in CMS, and you got 1,500 emails to get through, and every person of them, like what is their role? What is their responsibility? They work at the county level. We don't know, but we know that the admin level over the last 10 years in North Carolina has increased by something like 200%.
Yes.
The amount of money going to admin positions, county level positions, is astronomical. And they tell teachers, well, it's because the state doesn't want to pay us. No, it's because the county keeps adding all these jobs that sit behind a desk wearing a suit, but they ain't doing anything for the teachers who are on the front battle lines, the coaches who are literally saving people's lives. And we all know the impact and influence that coaches have on the young men that we coach, man. We save lives every single freaking day, man. Every day we impact young people's lives. And people at the county level who never have an impact with any young person in their life. Some of them went straight through college to their master's degree, to their PhDs. They never talked to a single 17-year-old kid who was contemplating doing really bad things. And they're getting paid out the wazoo. And you'll never hear them talk about, well, we might lose some of their jobs. Well, they might have to take a pay cut. I'm in year 8 of a pay freeze when I haven't gotten a pay bump in 8 years, because from years 15 to 25, there's no pay bump in North Carolina. And then when you get to year 26, there's a tiny little pay bump. And if I teach for the next 30 years, I'll never have another pay bump after that.
Yeah,
lost longevity pay, lost national boards pay, lost master's degree pay. Like we go on and on and on and on about how the state of North Carolina screwed teachers, but then the board of commissioners are the ones who we really have to get to pay coaches. But coaches are such a small minority. No board of no county commissioner is ever going to give a flying flip what we say, because we're not going to influence their election.
Wow.
Well, Kenny, think about it. A lot of the state level, they could transfer and get a new job. When you coach for life. You're coaching for life. This is a lifetime job. Like for some kids, we're always going to be coached. You're like, I can talk to kids that's 30 years old that I coach. I'm still coaching them. You know, so once a coach, always a coach.
Yeah.
Wrapping this up in the comments here, we got I want to get these two on. Coach Cunningham from Hardin again says first step they can take is increased pay for teams making the playoffs. I agree with that because you're giving more hours. Talks about dad coaching in South Carolina, they got paid more. Yep. And a 1-9 coach should not get the same stipend as somebody that goes 15-0. I definitely
for sure. Because I know because in Cleveland County, that was the biggest thing that I love about being in Cleveland County, being in Shelby. We get playoff pay. For every playoff game you win, you get paid for that in Cleveland County. And like I agree, like I couldn't imagine like what like Coach Griner and West Charlotte won the state championship. He got the same stipend as a team or a school who went 0-10 or 1-9. So you mean tell me that this man and his team went to the state championship game, which provided exposure for West Charlotte High School, CMS, and the city of Charlotte, and you get nothing for it. Like you don't get a parade. You don't get nothing. You know their reward. You pretty much say, well, their reward was okay. Your first game, you playing Bank of America. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? And seeing like this, but you think about that though, where it's like as a coach, I'm working.
Ryder gets a parade everywhere he goes. Well,
yeah, he does. I'm saying he does, but I'm just saying in general though, like just think about it, where like if I'm working for 16 weeks, me and this coach is getting the same pay, and they haven't even their last game of the season. They turning in equipment that Friday night. Think about it, and people and like, but people don't understand. Them 5 or 6 weeks for playoffs, that's longer nights I got to stay to try to make sure kids get home. That's more meals I got to pay for these kids that talk about, oh, man, I ain't ate, coach. That's all the stuff you got to do. Everybody loves Sam Griner, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying in general, that I mean, I think but think about that. If you had to rank all the CMS coaches, head coaches based on pay, they all the same. You put your name, it's all the same. But if you start ranking who's winning games, who's doing all this stuff, now is when it gets different. I think
rank the CMS coaches right now, Webb, top to bottom.
That's the rankings we want.
It's easy. Number one, DJ McFadden.
2,
DJ McFadden.
He's gonna play it safe. Hey, Matt, man, I was just gonna try.
Yes, sir.
This is, for some reason, this is the only, I'm speaking as someone that, that exists, the non-coach on the panel, but this is the only situation where people can be asked to do 5 extra weeks of work without additional compensation. I guarantee you, I go to work tomorrow in the corporate world and say, hey, I need y'all to work 5 weeks for nothing extra. No one's going to do that. So why are we okay with asking coaches to do the same thing? It's literally the same thing. And I guarantee you, the powers that be, if you ask them, hey, you guys willing to do 5 extra weeks of work for no extra money? They're not going to agree to it. So, I don't know exactly what the answer is, but I hope that one day that the coaches can be paid and compensated fairly based on the value, because football is only part of this. That's just the game. The main thing is the influence, like you said, like Coach Dub said, coaches can be 50, a guy can be 40 years old one day, and that's still going to be coached to him. I hope one day that coaches can be rewarded for the influence and impact they have on kids' lives. There's literally kids out there that probably might be in jail if it wasn't for football, or worse. And football keeps kids off the street. I think we focus too much on the college football and recruiting. That's a big deal, but the impact on kids' lives is the main thing. So, all I can do is offer my support, but I hope some headway gets made at some point.
And Brandon, during the season, we work 7 days a week.
Oh, I believe it.
Easy.
I believe it.
We work 7 days a week because
people only see the Friday nights. They don't understand what goes into that lead up to that game, man. Parents show up and see them 3 hours of that game. It's a lot more work that goes into that, man.
Because look, and people say like even Let's talk off season. We in a dead week, and I'm sure Kenneth probably got a call about something already.
I got my phone for kids and parents right now.
So think about it. So it's no such thing as a dead week for a coach. There's no such thing. Like, what is a dead week? Like, what is a dead week for a coach? Hey, coach, man, I need a ride. Coach, you told me if I call you, you could come pick me up.
You know what's
all type of stuff, man.
What's so funny? I ran into a guy the other day that I work out with in the morning time. I go to the gym before school. And he said, "Man, Kenneth, where you been? I haven't seen you in a few months since school got out." Is what he was saying. And the crazy thing is I can't go to the gym before school anymore because I get to school earlier now than I do during the school year. During the school year, I don't have to be to school until 6:30. I'm at the school every day in the summertime at 5:40 because I got to get there, get the weight room ready, get stuff ready for the field because kids start getting dropped off at 6 o'clock. So I'm not gonna have a kid sitting outside the gate. We have check-ins at 7 o'clock. We're rocking and rolling. And so I get there an hour plus early, but I got to run off my schedules. I got to finalize last-minute details. I'm taking phone calls and text messages. People don't realize that. I mean, and that's not even counting what Rob's talking about on Saturday nights. Coach Tatum being up till 2 o'clock in the morning, Sunday nights, 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday nights, trying to figure out why Monday's practice install plan sucked so badly. And then Tuesday, you got to figure out what you got to cut. So you're up, you're having meet with coaches before and afterwards. You're on the phone till late with coaches trying to figure out, because like Rob was saying, the heart of our program are coaches who aren't in the building, who don't get paid to coach. And so you're trying to figure out, hey, do you have this for tomorrow's practice? Are you ready for this? We're going to install this. Talking to the coaches who are in the building. Hey, we're gonna add this tomorrow. What do you think about that? All that stuff goes on after our wife and kids are in the bed.
And what about our marriages and our family life? Like, we could go on and on with this stuff, but most of the coaches, man, like, we're part-time parents. Like, I'm be honest, I was a part-time father during the season. Wow. My wife is never there, and then whenever I get a small time, I'm begging more than Keith Sweat is. You know what I'm saying? Boys and men, I'm gonna beg them all the time. It's crazy, but y'all know, Kenny, you know what I'm talking about.
Rob, my first year as a coach, 2002, North Mecklenburg High School, I realized one day, sitting in the meeting, that 75% of our coaching staff were either divorced and or remarried. 75%. And here I was a 20-year-old kid in college my last year, and realized that this was the profession we're getting into, and it takes a toll on marriage, man. That's why I had to get out. I couldn't be a husband, a father, and a head football coach all at the same time. I had to reprioritize some things. Hopefully, I'm doing a better job of it now. We'll see.
Hey, you better get your Keith Sweat on, baby.
Only on Football Focus Weekly will we have a Keith Sweat reference in 2025. Oh man, I think we've covered this topic very well. Thank you for everybody in the comments. And the guys, make sure you go read the comments after the show. It's some strong stuff over there. All right, well, we have made it to the point where we're going to talk about some teams and some players. So I'm going to get this on the screen. I'm going to talk about Cleveland County. Okay, there it is. StreamYard's a little new this year, so I'm trying to learn it a little bit on the run here. So let's talk about Cleveland County football first. I know Adam is our kind of resident Cleveland County expert, along with Joe. I think Joe's still here. I saw him. He had some comments earlier. So
Joe is always in the shadows, lurking.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And lurking and laughing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get this on the screen here. Where are we at here? That's not what I want. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. All right, we're going to start out with the Crest Chargers here. And we saw the young man earlier. He goes by Pluto, but he's the defensive back listed there, DeVaris Surratt. His teammate Lyric Pettis in the secondary, Chris Gunner, some key defensive guys to watch for them. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we got quarterback Eli Hambrick, who did a great job leading them deep in the playoffs last year. running back Mike Edwards, and offensive lineman Nick Albright. That's not all they have. They have a lot of talent on that team. But in synopsis, I think this team is talented, well coached, in a football hotbed in Cleveland County, especially for that school. And I think they're going to have another strong season overall. And Greg Lloyd was the winning coach at the Queen City Senior Bowl last year. And really, really cool guy. I didn't know him that well going into the game, but he's a really, really cool dude, man. And the players really like playing for him. So any thoughts on Crest here? I know our Cleveland County guys are here early. I hope they hung around, but Big Guy, I know you're fond of them.
Oh yeah, man. Crest look like they primed and ready for a state championship run. I know they didn't finish how they wanted to finish last year. They have a lot of key players on offense and defense. I won't get the name calling because they got so many guys, and I don't want nobody to feel left out. But yeah, man, they have a great team led by Coach Lloyd. Like I said, they got a quarterback, they got athletes, they got receivers. I think we're pretty excited to see. They have a big time matchup with Weddington, I think week 3 or week 4.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, I think this Crest Charger team is going to be pretty good. They have, like I said, they got multiple Division I athletes on both sides of the ball. They got a lot of kids whose stock is rising from this summer, from the camp circuits and just how they played last year in the season. And like I said, yeah, man, they're a very talented, well-coached team. They should have a good year, man. They should have a good year. I think they're 5A, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they are.
I think they are one of the heavy favorites to win the 5A state championship.
I agree. I definitely agree. Our next Cleveland County team, the Shelby Golden Lions, led by Mike Wilbanks. They are known for their high-scoring offensive ability, and they got the trigger man back again in his senior year, quarterback Land Former, throwing to Emmanuel, I think Man's his nickname, Man Collins.
Yep.
And then a guy I really like watching on film, offensive lineman T. Hollifield, man, what a special player he is. And that name is really strong out there. It seems like they've always got a Hollifield, doing some big things. Flipping over defensively, the edge Tyson Williams, 6'4", has gotten some offers this offseason, coming into his sophomore year. Landon Hollifield as a linebacker, and then defensive back Kendrick Raper. And then realignment placed Shelby in a really strong classification where I think they're going to be instant state championship contenders. And then I think the fans are going to have a good year for the Golden Lions.
Well, yeah, man. Like I said, you got the gunslinger back, Land. He's poised and looks very good right now. He had a great summer. For what I got to see them for a little bit when the time we had off. I think they're being at Shelby, you're always instant state championship contenders. That's always the goal. If we don't, it's either state championship or bust. That's how we kind of look at things down there. Like they said, they got some good receivers. Like in Man College, man, it's funny seeing these guys' names on the list, man, because 4 of these guys, I pretty much watched them grow up since they was babies, and coached them at AAU with Emmanuel Collins, T. Hollifield, Landon Hollifield, and Kendrick Raper. So it's just funny seeing all these kids in high school now, man. But it's so many guys at Shelby that you can call out and name that can contribute to the success. Even that receiver, you have a key player to watch. I'm gonna give you a name, Pep. A key player to watch. Keep your eyes on. Okay. Is Lorenzo Roseboro at the wide receiver position. He's a great guy. He's a great kid, very athletic, sneaky fast, can go up and get those 50-50 balls, run any route. And then on the defensive side, my little cousin, man, he's small but plays with a big heart. Derek Key. He's one of those. He kind of give you Honey Badger vibes with Ty Matthews. Not the biggest out there, but he's always gonna work and do what he needs to do. But this team, man, I think this team, the sky's the limit. I think a lot of people are gonna doubt them because they may have lost a lot, or they may not be as big, or they're younger in certain areas. But I think all these guys I think they know what time it is. It's been a while since we got a state championship, and I know that's what's on their mind. So
I think they got a great shot in that. I think they're 3A?
Yeah, they should run. They should win. They should run the table. I don't think it's no 318 is going to beat them.
Yeah, the
Hey,
first
3A
link.
West is the best class.
Hey, my fault. Hey,
Uh-oh.
my bad. Hey, listen. I know my guy Coach Tatum down there. Hey, I just gotta. Hey, I ain't gonna count nobody out. Right now, my 3A favorite is gonna be Chevy. Now, don't sleep on Walkertown. They in that portal. Pep, Walkertown in that portal, Pep.
Hey, the way I work, man. Hey, Shelby got the resume to back it up. They got the history and all that stuff. We still young school, so. But I've been picking with some guys. I'm like, hey, at 3A West, if it could be the Final Four, be Shelby, Mount Airy, us, East Rutherford. Like that'd be a great Final Four at 3A West.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think the state championship for the next however long we in this alignment is coming out of 3A West.
Yeah,
I'd agree. Joe Hughes checking in. Calvin Ramser, the Swiss Army knife for Shelby as well. Yeah. I was debating between him and Raper for that third defensive key player. So
I mean, when you got a team like Shelby, man, you can name anybody and they're gonna be ballers, man. So you know, man. And young Tyson's gonna be Tyson and T are sophomores, man. So that lets you know how deep the talent is gonna be at Shelby this year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next we got the Kings Mountain Mountaineers, led by Straight Heron back once again. Offensively, little different name at quarterback. We had a young man leave and go to another school. So this, I think KJ Bell is 2028. But he got an offer already from Gardner Webb, and people say he's really, really talented. So I'm excited to see what he looks like. Running back Jarlin Dry came to their program from Northwest Cabarrus. A lot of people don't know the name, but he rushed for, I believe, over 1,400 yards for the Trojans last year. Very talented young man. And then wide receiver tight end Tex Vaughn committed to, I believe, Boston College.
Yeah, Boston College.
Yeah. Huge guy, 6'4", and he's got good weight on him. And he's kind of a flex guy. That you can put on the outside, throw some jump balls to. And then defensively, the edge Samaj Odom's committed to Gardner Webb. We had 10 sacks last year. Linebacker Lathan Feemster has been a consistent top performer at our CFI showcase the past couple of years. And then linebacker edge Kristen Jarrett. I wanted to showcase him. He's a younger guy, but he's 6'5". And anytime you're 6'5" and athletic, you got a chance. So I think there's some new faces for Kings Mountain, but they got some high-level top-end talent, and I think they're going to be a strong playoff team once again. Big guy, I know you love Kings Mountain, so.
I don't. But Kings Mountain's been flying under the radar. I think those coaches and those fans are ready for the year to get started. Two guys to keep your eyes out on offensively that I know is Xavier Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Xavier Hutchins.
Yeah,
a great big time receiver, class of 2028. He's gonna be one of their guys outside, and big old lineman Samarian Dawkins. Like I said, I think these Kings Mountain, the city has been praying for a state championship for I think over 50 years. I
knew you were gonna put that.
They've been praying. But I think they believe that. This is one of the years they can do it. I think a lot of people are going to count this team out, but I think those guys, one thing I will say about Kings Mountain, they always a prideful team, a prideful city. Those kids play for their community, play for their school. They have a lot of school support. Like even with these guys, man, you see the talent is deep, even a young group. But they still mixed in with a lot of experienced guys who've been there, who's been in the program. And I think they want to get their name back in there with the big dogs in their division and let everybody know that when Kings Mountain come to town, it won't be easy.
Well said.
They're gonna have a new offensive play caller down there too. So we'll see how.
Who's down there now?
I don't know who's down there now, but Jamie Bolton went down to Rock Hill, who was there. So.
Right. Let's see here. Joe Hughes. Bell's top target on JV was Xavier Hutchins, so I'm eager to see how they put that chemistry on display. Yeah, it's a good call right there. And he looked good at our CFI showcase. Looked very good. Tyrese Williams. There you go. Cleveland County love. Always there. All right. And then we got the Burns Bulldogs and the next team in Cleveland County led by head coach David Devine, who has been there for a good bit of time now. Offensively, Kenyon Surratt is returning, had a pretty productive season last year. Athlete Max Davis stars on both sides of the ball as a running back and a linebacker. And then offensive lineman Gage Kemp performed very well at our CFI showcase as a top offensive lineman. And then defensively, Markalen Camp's been working very hard this offseason, and I thought he showed pretty well at our showcase. And then defensive back Jacob Tysinger is another kid to watch. And then my thoughts, they're a consistently strong program in Cleveland County. They got some new players on both sides of the ball that's got a chance to step up this season, do some big shoes. They lost some guys to graduation last year that played a really big role for them. Big Eye, what you got anything to say about Burns?
Well, I don't know a lot of the guys on the team. I know Coach Devine's gonna have those guys ready to go. They're gonna be very well coached. They're still gonna be a tough out for anybody. I'm sure they're gonna be disciplined. I'm sure, like I said, there's another school with the kids that come through Burns. They always do a great job of having pride in how they play and how they carry themselves, and they always play hard for their school. They got a bunch of good fans over there who's going to support. So yeah, man, I think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on them. So I'm sure the coaches will tell them, like, hey man, every game we got to go out there and just punch people in the mouth and let them know, no matter how young we are, maybe inexperienced, it doesn't matter. We come to play.
Absolutely. Joe Hughes, once again, Max Davis is a flat out athlete, hit 400 in baseball. Wow. Yeah, that's special right there. Good stuff. All right, Cleveland County rankings. Here's what I think. Crest number 1, Kings Mountain 2, Shelby 3, and then Burns 4. Am I gonna be able to go to Cleveland County
now? These are your rankings, right? Hey, make sure we put that out there.
I forgot to put my name. I'm sorry.
This is Pep Man rankings.
It's mine.
I would switch some teams around. What
would you do?
You would do from 4 to 1 or 1 to 4?
I mean, however you want to do it. It don't matter.
I would keep 4 where it's at. I will flip 2 and 3, then flip 1 and 3.
Okay.
So I would go Shelby, Crest, Kings Mountain, then Burns.
Mm-hmm. I figured as much. Yeah. Okay. Oh man. Well, I'll put these out on social media, and I'm sure some people will have a reaction. So, oh, good stuff. All right. I see your comment there, Mr. Surratt. It's never personal. Remember what we talked about earlier. It's never personal. It's just my opinion. And what we said earlier. It's an opinion. It's not the gospel. Please keep.
Are they playing each other non-conference like they usually do? Or
Shelby and Kings Mountain play. Oh, excuse me. I think they played first game of the year. I think Shelby and Kings Mountain played first game of the year. I know Shelby and Burns are conference games.
Yeah.
And Shelby plays. Let's see. Shelby plays Crest and Kings Mountain first, then Crest. Then they have Burns the last game of the year. So yeah, everybody's still pretty much playing each other, I believe.
Marcus Bell says, "I'm always welcoming Kings Mountain." I appreciate that, Mark. I don't know. Have I been to Kings Mountain?
That's how you know you don't like them if you ain't never been. If you got a question, if you have to question if you've been there, you haven't been there.
I've been through there.
Yeah, probably to get to Shelby. You had to go through that.
It's like, yeah, I see Kings Mountain. I'm leaving like on the 74, but I don't. Yeah, see it.
So Markeith Surratt says, oh wait a minute, that popped in on me. Says Crest, Shelby, Kings Mountain, Burns. Okay, flipping 2 and 3.
That's a Crest guy.
Oh, So it doesn't matter. Just crest, huh? Just crest on top. I got it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Thank you, Nikisha, for this wonderful reminder. The email address is still there. If you don't like it, you can email. I've only gotten like 7 emails in the history of this email address, so I think I'm right most of the time. Okay, maybe not. All right, Coach Dub is ready. We're going to move on to Gaston County football. Everybody's favorite. South Point Red Raiders, led by Adam Hodge. Patrick Blee is back at quarterback. I know it seems like he's been there for like 18 years. He's back once again in his senior season. Offensive lineman Andrew Rice performed very well at our showcases, and he's starting to get some offers now that are well-deserved. And then tight end Peyton McCarn was an all-conference player last year. 6'4". When the Red Raiders do throw the football a little bit, he's probably the main target there. Then defensively, defensive back Gavin Smith had 9 interceptions last year. Very impressive season for that young man, first team all-conference. And then athlete Zeke Pruitt and defensive back Kamari Crawford helped head up the back end as well. So South Point has a pretty good secondary behind them. And then my thoughts, the red zone option is always tough to stop. And consistently, year in and year out, the Red Raiders are one of the best teams in Gaston County. Coach Doug, what's your thoughts on the Red Raiders? Oh, he's muted. Okay. I see your comment, Coach. My bad.
Well, no, what I was going to say, they run a great system. They've been running for forever. And I think that the thing is, you starting to see an interesting tide turn a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit more when we get to your rankings. But South Point has a system. They got great players, and the staff works hard. So I expect nothing less than what they've been doing forever. A winning record.
Yeah, year in and year out. That's what they put out there, man. All right. The Ashbrook Green Wave, led by head coach Darius James, had a nice turnaround season last year, getting to the 3rd round of state playoffs. They've got several very good players. I'm just doing 3 on each side, but they've got more as well. Athlete Martino Smith's going to play some running back and linebacker. Running back Savion Lindsay has kind of been a legend, throughout the middle school years, and starting to see that transfer over to the high school. And he got an offer from Syracuse this offseason. And offensive lineman Jonathan Moore has picked up 4 offers, and I honestly think he should have more. He is a road grading offensive lineman on the interior. On the other side, linebacker Caleb Gordon, of course, great player, committed to Arkansas. Defensive lineman Camille Scott was a first-team all-conference selection. And then Coach James is very high on Keenan Early, who came to our CFI showcase, and he's got great length and size at 6'1". And as I said, they made the 3rd round. I think they're the best team in Gaston County as it stands right now. And I think they can, go even further this upcoming season. Coach Dub, I know, you have some good knowledge on Ashbrook. What's your thoughts here?
I wanted to highlight some players that wasn't on this list, some up-and-coming players. Camarian Lyons, 6'1", 275, defensive lineman, offensive lineman. Benjamin Gregory, a 5'11", 215 linebacker that's playing right beside Caleb. Javarian Jeffries, I apologize if I don't get your name right. 6'1", 215 defensive end. Bishop Woods, 6'3", 170-pound safety.
Wow. Okay.
Raleigh Hicks, 5'10", 180-pound athlete. And Tyler Morgan, a 6'1", 180-pound receiver. And they got a quarterback also, the Armstrong kid. Mm-hmm. So I've been saying this for years. And I love the way Coach James has built this program. I always tell you it was slow cook. We talked about earlier, I think Kenny mentioned like that, like slow, taking your time. It's not fast food. He took his time and built this program the right way. And not only is he winning on the field, he's winning off the field. Like his kids are consistently going to college. He's consistently putting up a winning record, and most importantly, he's pouring back into that program. They got a phenomenal staff. I know they. I think Mo. I thought I saw something where Mo Neal had joined their staff. So he's surrounding them along with Coach Zeke Biggers. He's surrounding them with not just good football coaches, but good men, and that's the difference. You know what they say. The kids, they don't care what you know. They care if you care. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where he got good men around that program, and I think the tide's turned. I think Ashbrook is returned back to dominance, and it's a bunch of kids that we didn't even name that's on this that's not on this list that we're gonna be talking about by the time the season end or the middle of the season. You be like, hey, this kid, we didn't mention him, but he's doing a phenomenal job, and plus they do a good job of developing. And it starts with the defense. If you look at them, Zeke Biggers, their DC, has consistently put together a strong defense. You're not going to out scheme Zeke. And that's where you see, I mean, it's hard to beat South Point twice. They beat South Point twice in 1 year. And I'm glad Coach James was named Gaston County, Gaston Gazette Coach of the Year because he deserved it. And coaches, amongst coaches, we know the coaches that's going above and beyond. So shout out to Coach James and Ashford Greenway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I say, Pep, you know, I've been on record about how strongly I feel about Ashbrook football. I got to meet Martino Smith and I believe Quamel at the Garden Web Mega Camp, and I told them to their face, as I have told to Coach Darius James, and I told to my brother Zeke Bigger, this year is the year. This year is y'all year. The coaches have been coaching. The guys have been developed. The guys are bigger, faster, stronger, more coachable now. This year is their year. I'm going on record to say they are the best team in Gaston County, and they will win their conference this year. They will win their conference this year, and they will make a state championship run this year. Because one thing that a lot of people don't know is that all their big games, they have to come to the Brook this year. They got to come to the Brook. So they're going to have to come out there and see those Greenway at home. In the Brook, it's very rare they lose at home. That's how it always been. So I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it again. Shout out to my guy, Caleb Gordon, his dad, man. His dad's a character. Congratulations to him going to Arkansas. And I'm going to say it, man. Ashbrook is the team to beat in Gaston County and in North Carolina in their division. That's how I'm going to do it. They're going to be the team to beat. They're going to be the team to beat.
Curtis Young with a message for you.
Hey, last year, if we call spade a spade, they had y'all on the ropes up until that Hail Mary at halftime. Then their composure was lost. They're gonna be better this year because they gotta come to Ashbrook. It's all right, man. Just prove me wrong again, man. That's all you gotta do. Prove me wrong again. But I think Ashbrook's gonna be a lot better than what people think they are. They're gonna be a lot better.
Joe's also adding in Ashbrook has a bulk of its offensive line back. The Great Wall of Ashbrook. Is that their name?
I don't know, but I was gonna say shout out to my dog, Coach Bowen, man. He's an O-line coach there, man. They've had several strong O-linemen that getting highly recruited. And
they got some guys, man. They got some guys, man.
They're gonna do some things this year, man.
All right. Let's talk about the Mountain Island Raptors.
Let's go. Hey, hold on.
Coach Dub, I'll let you take this one. That's just your
now go ahead and highlight the boys. I'll come back. I got you.
Oh, okay.
You go ahead and highlight them.
All right. Offensively, they call him 3K. Andre Ramsey, the receiver spot, very, very fast young man. We've got him rated pretty high in the 28 class on Prep Red Zone, North Carolina. Quarterback Javon Boyd stepping in from longtime starter Grayson Harvey, who's moved on to graduation. And then running back Amir Gilchrist, the leading rusher, returning for the Raptors once again this season. Defensive lineman Jason Eaton, I think he had 17 sacks last year, coming off the edge and playing a little bit of interior defensive line. And then some new guys, well, not new guys, but some guys stepping up. Ethan Quadra at linebacker, and then Caden Clark at DB. I believe we got him on the wait list for 2028 Prep Red Zone, North Carolina. And then my thoughts, of course, the Raptors have been consistently winning team, and they find a way every season to advance in the playoffs. And no pressure, Coach Dub. I don't think this year's any different for you.
Man, the one thing about it, our kids are gonna work, man. The one thing I try my best to do is give them that working mentality. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's given. You got to grind. You got to grind. You got to grind. And that stretches beyond the field, because a lot of times, Pep, you talk to my boys, they're not going to talk to you much about football. They're going to talk to you about how it impacted life outside of it. Because I believe if you pour into the kids outside of it, the football is easy, because now you got a relationship, right? If I got a relationship with them outside of football, it's easy to talk to them about football. It's just a normal conversation, right? So this group is special. Obviously, Andre 3K Ramsor, he was up for Sports Illustration Freshman of the Year. He led all freshman receivers in receiving yards. Kid is phenomenal. Like he's one of the best players in this area. Quarterback Javon Boyd. Pep, you actually came to the game. We played Valentine Ridge, and I think he threw for over 400 yards that particular game, 5 touchdowns. And you saw him do it against a pretty stout defensive line. They had 2 very talented defensive ends for Valentine Ridge, and Javon was running all over the place. But one thing about Javon and Andre, they're also state champion track runners. So they both won the state championship in a 4x1. And Andre in particular is Adidas National All-Americans. Obviously, I build my team through the track program. Now moving on to Amir Gilchrist. Amir's been starting this will be his 3rd year starting. He started as a freshman. I'm not a freshman, a sophomore. I mean, this kid got moves, man. Some of the best moves I've seen. I've seen some good running backs. So he could cut on a dime. Kid's a great kid. Really hard-working kid. He's determined. Like he's really locked in and focused. And going to the defense, you got D lineman Jason Eaton. Jason's Jason, man. He's a matchup nightmare. I mean, we move him around in the D line. Nowhere we move him at, people can't block the kid, man. The kid has a motor, and he's big, he's strong, he's physical, he's mean on the field, but nice off the field. Linebacker Ethan Quadra, we call him Bryce. Bryce is one of the hardest working kids, man. He had returned back from injury earlier in his career, but he's bounced back, man. He is a workhorse. I expect this kid to break our school tackle record. I put that pressure on him. I said, you should break our school tackle record, because he's always around the ball, and he's gotten faster. He's gotten faster since last year. So I'm not going to tell you his 40 time. It'll pop on film. Phenomenal kid. Caden Clark, we call him KK. KK is just like Andre 3K. 2 phenomenal freshmen last year, came in and made immediate impact because, obviously we had a lot of injuries last year, and they came in, and they was those kids we moved up from JV, and they dominated, man. They started off from day one. I know KK played lights out on defense, but also we got some other players. We got Aiden Bornhauser. Aiden Bornhauser is a 4-year starter on our offensive line. Aiden's been starting since 9th grade. Aiden had a club. He started with a club on his hand. We went down to when Andrews was strong that year. He started. And then we also got a kid named Joe Oliver. Joe Oliver is a defensive back. Expecting big things from him. He had 86 tackles, 4 interceptions last year. We got another kid, Morgan Green. He's a running back linebacker. He's a junior. He's going to go both ways. Good runner, tote that pill. Also, Shamar Ellis, linebacker. Shamar is great. I think we actually highlighted him and on a few times up here. He got a couple defensive player of the week, and Shamar just dominated. Looking forward to those kids, man. But I don't want to give away too much. I think that we're young. I think we're talented. I think where we're going to sell at more than anything is we got kids that love the game. We got kids that's passionate, like we talked about. And I'll take passion and IQ over talent any day, and we got talent too. So I think our team, we're a work in progress. Like I tell you, each week is going to take a life of its own. We're just trying to get better each week.
Good stuff, man. I know you will. You do every year. All right. There's one other team I wanted to highlight because they got some good top end talent. That's Stuart Kramer, and a lot of people don't talk about Stuart Kramer. But a new head coach and Ashton Simmons coming in there. On the offensive side of the ball, Qualto Hawkins is one of the top rated tight ends in the state of North Carolina. Started to pick up some recruiting attention this offseason. And it's well deserved. He's very athletic. He can get into space. He can be a vertical tight end, but he's got the ability to block as well. And really good hands. He can catch the ball well in traffic. Wide receiver Landon Lee can also play some tight end. He was one of the top performers at the CFI Carolina Showcase back in May. And then Malik Torre, offensive lineman, 6'5", 300 plus pounds, starting to pick up a couple offers for him. Defensively, Chris Worcester. I believe I saw today that he just committed to Lenore Ryan. So congratulations to Chris. That's well deserved. He's been one of their best players for the past few years. Defensive lineman Amari Broom is starting to get some well-deserved recruiting attention. Good defensive lineman from the interior can really kind of shoot gaps and get into the backfield. And then linebacker Braden Fortenberry, one of their best tacklers, is back as well. And then my thoughts, new leadership this season. They've been quietly building the past couple of years, and I think they've got a chance to make some noise within Gaston County. You guys got any thoughts on Stuart Kramer there?
Yeah, Stuart Kramer, they got a kid, Anthony Smith. He's a junior offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You highlighted Amari Broom. Blake Wilkinson, he's a DB slash running back. And Cody Alexander, he's a DB slash wide receiver. So it's like you said, Pep, they've been young and talented for a while. Now, some of those kids that had to take those lumps as freshmen and sophomore, they gained experience. Because sometimes you might have to lose to actually win for the future. And I think Coach Ashton Simmons, obviously we played Mount Airy in the playoffs. Phenomenal coach. He was assistant coach on that staff. Great coach, great motivator. He's bringing a lot of winning culture to Stuart Kramer. Also, we're having a balance. We're having Coach Putnam, their DC, back on still on that staff. So I think they're going to be sneaky good because they got a good balance of new culture plus Putt being able to still be there and be a consistent there.
Good stuff, man. Hopefully they take a step this year. I really want to see those guys start realizing, the potential they have as a group for sure. All right. Some other players to watch in Gaston County, and Coach Doug, you can weigh in. I know you got some more as well, but I wanted to shout these guys out. Pictured below on the offensive side of the ball is Ethan Presley, quarterback at Hunter Huss, coming over from East Gaston into that program. Jacqueline Littlejohn, Hunter Huss as well. I think he's going to be a strong receiver. That's going to be a nice tandem right there for the Huskies. Running back Keon Smith for Bessemer City. Offensive lineman Desmond Simmons, who came to one of our showcases back in the winter and did very well, was named the top performer. Irvin Thompson at Highland Texas, 6'3" receiver who can high point the football on the outside. I've heard some good things about running back Jeremiah Benton over at East Gaston. It's going to be very important. Those guys lost a good bit. They're going to have to rebuild a little bit. Nazramine Knox, I hope I said that right, for Forest View as a linebacker. Will be someone to watch. Defensive back Zamarius Gladden. I really like that kid. I remember from the media day last year in Gaston County, he was very impressive. Spoke very well. And I believe he picked up an offer from maybe Catawba. I can't remember exactly. Defensive lineman Zaire Holmes from Bessemer City, pictured below on the defensive side, showed well at the CFI Carolina Showcase and was named the top performer there. Athlete Jackson Heavener from Cherryville does everything for that team and produced a lot offensively last season for them. Cameron Dial for North Gaston is a talented defensive back who can also play some offense. And I know you mentioned Javarian Jeffries earlier for Ashbrook, Coach Dub. You got anyone else?
Yeah, Marcus Smith, and I'm talking about Bessemer City here.
Okay.
Marcus Smith, he's a DB. Coach Creed said he's like the heartbeat of their defense. Phenomenal kid, and obviously, and I can't never pronounce his kid name, and I should be able to. Gavin, is it Chastain?
Chastain.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this kid, I didn't know he was still. He's a senior now.
I didn't know he was still there. That's news to me.
I mean, shoot. Hey, this kid's been good. That means he's been good for a long time. He has he's a record-setting quarterback. He has a single touchdown record for Gaston County, and also some of Bessemer City underclassmen. Jatavius McGill. He's a class of 2027. Okay. And the coach says he's a grit player. Jaden Owens, class of 2027. He's a linebacker, remarkable sideline to sideline speed, a great nose for the ball. And Jay Garvin, class of 2028, wide receiver. Kids gonna put up numbers for him this year. So also I want to transition to Cherryville. Okay. And when I talk about like Highland Tech, Cherryville, people don't know these names because we, Charlotte Football Insider and Cleveland County get a lot of love, but we really can play football in Gaston County. And you got some sleepers that just fly under the radar for whatever reason. Like Highland Tech, they got Travis Woods, class of 2026, D tackle, offensive lineman. Emmanuel Berry, class of 2026, DN middle linebacker. Forest View got Jimmy White III, class of 2026, DN offensive lineman. Forest View also has Jaden Phillips, class of 2027, D lineman and offensive lineman. And moving on to Cherryville. Cherryville got Jackson Hevner. He's a running back. Yeah. He's a running back / wide receiver, 5'10", 160. Junior that had 1,500 all-purpose yards last year, 10 touchdowns in only 7 games. Like I'm telling you, Pep, it's some sleepers out here. And even East Gaston, even though East Gaston graduated a very talented running back, they also had a talented running back behind them. And that was the kid name is Jabron Johnson for East Gaston. Okay. So being for this kid. And let's talk a little bit about Hunter Huss. Ethan Presley, he's a quarterback. Hayden Brayton, he's a slot. J.J. Mackins, he's an athlete. O.B. Lockhart, he's a wide receiver / DB. Nas Davis, he's a wide receiver / DB. Darius Chapman, he's a D lineman / linebacker. King Gardner, he's an O lineman, D lineman. Kamari Falls, he's a tight end. Antonio Griggs, he's a defensive end. And then also with Ashbrook, I went over Ashbrook's. But yeah. I just wanted to highlight Gaston County, and I'll talk a little bit more when you bring the rankings up. But I think that our coaching culture has changed in Gaston County. We stick together more. We communicate more. Most importantly, we got a chat that all the Gaston County coaches are up there, and we communicate with each other. And majority of all of our conversations is how can we get our kids better, not just our kids at our school, but the kids countywide. So I'm gonna make a bold prediction because I know Adam did earlier too. I think this is going to be some of the best brand of Gaston County football that you've seen in years. And the reason, and I'm gonna tell you why, it has a lot to do with the coaches pouring back to the kids. It's like those things, it's gonna trickle down to the kids. So the kids in Gaston County is in the best situation, not only to be successful on the field, but also to get opportunities outside of football or at the next level. So just don't be surprised if you see a better brand of football than you've been seeing for the last couple of years at Gaston County. So shout out to all my Gaston County coaches. And much love to Coach Creed. I got to shout Coach Creed out. Him and Darius, they do a lot of work behind the scenes. Like, people don't realize the work that they do. And they're not just doing work for their program. They're trying to, like, help other kids, like, at other schools. You get what I'm saying? So it's just, it's all love. And that's what I've been about for years, Pep. So to see that and to see these men look out for each other and kids that they can't use and they got to play against, and they advocating for them. That's what it's all about. So shout out to Gaston County.
Absolutely, man. Some good stuff over in the comments as well. You know, Joe is a resident Gaston County expert. He also added, I hope I say this right, Inajahe Whitworth from Cherryville should be on the list. He had 6 picks for them last season. Joe also talking about Gavin Chastain. He's going to set the Bessemer City passing record early in the season. Coach Creed, you just mentioned, he's asking a question. He says, Jimmy White III at Forest View, is that the son of Jimmy White, head coach at Highland Tech? I'm not sure.
It is.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Okay. Good deal. I remember I met Coach. I think I was at the 7-on-7 you hosted last year. He's a nice guy. Also at the media day. Yeah.
Great dude.
Yeah, it is very good. All right. You mentioned some Gaston County rankings, so let's see what everybody says. I'm not gonna read them all, but that's the breakdown we got right there for the preseason in Gas. And once again, these are Pet Man's. Next week, I promise I'll put my name on the rankings because they're mine. But these are our Pet Man's Gaston County rankings. And I need to find Nikisha's comment with the email address. If you don't like them, where is it? No, it's way up there. We've had a lot of comments tonight.
While you're looking for that, Pat, I just want to put. I saw Caleb Gordon at the Shrine Bowl practices. When we took one of our guys up there. That kid's the truth, and they're just running around, like playing around, not a tryout, right? That kid he's different, right? 100%.
Yeah. The way he explodes to the football is really special, man. It really is. And you know, for a while there, you know, we talked about rankings and stuff. For a while there, he wasn't getting what he deserved. And you know, they did it the right way. You know, they kept working, and it finally came. And then it came, and when it comes in waves, and that's how it came for him. And now he's in the SEC, you know, and that's where he should be. Yeah, he's that kind of player.
Well, he's his daddy's son. You know, his dad was a heck of a ball player, probably one of the best players that came out of Gaston County. And for Caleb to match that energy, man, and I've been watching Caleb since he was 4 or 5 years old. Him and Justice played on the same team. Him and his older brother, they all played on the same team growing up. And that kid was always good, man. He was always around the football and always working. Even if, you know, I always them playing on the sideline. They was always playing football, even when they wasn't actually on the field playing football. But the Gordon family is a phenomenal family. You see Shamika Gordon, you see Boone Gordon, like they're staples in Gaston County. When you're talking about football families like the Harbisons in Cleveland County, the Hollyfields in Cleveland County, the Little Johns in Lincolnton, you got to mention the Gordons in Gaston County. So shout out to my Gordon family.
Absolutely, that's well said. All right, so that's our preview on Cleveland County and Gaston County football, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll put that stuff out on social media so you guys can discuss it rationally. Tag me and all that good stuff. All right. If you're still here, thank you. You know, the first show coming back, I didn't want to put a time limit on it because I know we hadn't talked since April. And there was a lot to start talking about. I think the panel discussion was really, really needed on those topics we discussed. If you missed it, once the show ends, it'll be available on playback on all 3 platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So feel free to go back and watch our early discussions. We talked about social media rankings, which was fun. We talked about the player transfer culture, and then we talked about coaches' pay. So we hit a lot. We hit a lot tonight, along with Cleveland County and Gaston County. Next week, we're going to hit Cabarrus and Rowan counties as far as our team previews and county rankings. And then we'll have some new topics to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. So this season, we're going to do a lot more topic discussion because I think we all do a great job in sharing our views and engaging with you guys in the comments. And it'll look a little different next week. Next week, we'll have the season 7 theme song or intro, I should say. Still the same song, but a little different intro. I didn't get it ready for tonight. But without everyone here, I don't want to do slime time because we only got less than half of us now. So, all right. Let's see if we got any more comments. Yeah, Joe, we're all knocking the rust off and trying to get into season mode, man. I got to go do my conditioning. Yeah, no slime time tonight, Karen. I see you come back. Your comment there. And then, Billups has just kind of retired again and gone into the crowd with several comments that I did not put on the screen. But all that being said, oh yeah, thank you, Chris. We highlighted you if you didn't see it. I talked about you a little bit there, so appreciate you watching, man. And I hope you guys, do some big things this season over there at Stuart Kramer. For sure, man. Appreciate that. All right. You guys want to say good night? I don't know how I want to end it.
I want to say something. I want to. We talked a lot about coaches' pay.
Go ahead.
We talked a lot about coaches' pay today. I want to, kind of tell all the coaches, make sure y'all getting yearly checkups. Make sure y'all check on your health. I'm one of the most stubborn people in the world about going to the doctor, and I've been being more consistent going to my doctor, and I was able to catch some few things that was getting out of control with my levels and stuff, but I wouldn't have known if I didn't go. We do put a lot of work in. This is a tireless job. We're working 7 days a week, like we talked about. We're working our off season. We really don't get time off from this job, because if we're not coaching on the field, or even in the dead period, we still handling stuff like, hey, coach, what our decals going to look like? As small as that, to, hey, coach, when is the schedule going to be released? Or, hey, coach, when is this going to happen? Hey, coach, what colors are we going to wear this game? So we still answer those questions, but I highly recommend all my coaches, brothers out there, go and make sure you get yearly physicals.
Amen to that. Amen.
Yeah. I just want to say, just
okay,
before we get going, yeah, coaches, enjoy the rest of the dead period, because we're getting ready to hop into it, and we full go through starting school to all the way until whenever the last game is. So enjoy the little time that we might have, and then hey, just jump in full go, and don't forget to change some lives along the way. It's not about us; it's about the kids.
Amen. Well said. I commend you guys for what you do. That's a big reason why I do what I do, to help support you guys. Hope you guys all have a great season, because next week it'll be on and popping, like you just said, Coach Tatum, and it's all downhill from there. So thanks for everybody for watching tonight. Thank you, Coach Griner, for your co-hosting from the comments. I won't share that with your other employer. All right. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you next week, 8 o'clock. I promise it won't be as long. Good night, everybody.